it's just been great. You know, I think I've, for some time, felt like I was really alone in things, and just to come to know that I've never been alone, even before I made the decision to give my life back to him. He's always been with me. I look back at my life and how he's watched over and protected me, even before I loved him. I mean, that's just, what do you say to that, you know? Wow, that's just amazing. God is awesome. My name is Melinda Roden, but everyone calls me Mel. I came to the vineyard the first time, it was January 2008. It was just very welcoming. Like, wow, well, this is cool. You know, church has changed in the last 20 years. Man, where have you guys been all this time? It's like, they weren't the ones missing, I was the one missing. And so I had been living in Miami from 2002. So it's really hard not to get caught up in the party scene that happens here in Miami. You know, how you share things with your coworkers. She's like, you really seem to be seeking and searching. And I was like, yeah, I am. And she gave me the book, The Purpose-Driven Life. And that book just rocked my world. And I was like, well, where is this book in the self-help section? I didn't ever see this one there. I would have picked that one up. And so I read that book, and I think that book, actually, you're supposed to read it in like 40 days. And I think I read that book in like 3 days. I just had to get through it. I got to the end of it, and I had just finished it when she invited me to church. And she's like, you know, it's the beginning of the year. Why don't you come to church? And I didn't know who God was this whole time. And I think I had a wrong understanding about him, and finding out how much he loves and cares for us. And he just yearns for us to want him, to need him, to involve him in our lives. You know, right there in your seat, if you think that it's time that you just give your life back to Christ, just go ahead and say these words. And I did. And my life has been a wonderful transition and roller coaster since then. Again, I was like, yeah, this is what I've been missing. I know that God has a bigger purpose for my life, and man, it was just such a relief. I finally decided to go on my very first mission trip. So I went to Mexico, and yeah, it was a 10-day trip. And from the minute that I walked into Mexico, I was like, yeah, this is exactly what the Lord's called me to. I went back home and quit my job after 10 years with the same company and sold everything. You know, that's what the Bible says, you know, sell all your possessions, give to the poor, and pick up your cross and follow me. And that's what I did. So right now I'm actually in Atlanta with the same organization that I went to school with in Mexico. And we are living in a very small town right outside of Atlanta, 1 square mile. And there's about 7,500 people that live there. 5,000 of those people are refugees. All of them are either Muslim or Buddhist or Hindu, which is great because I get to be the one to welcome them. Basically just coming alongside them and loving them, like the Bible says, you know, to reach out to the widow, the orphan, and the alien it talks about too. So yeah, that's pretty much what I do. I mean, everyone doesn't have to become a missionary, but man, just once you submit your life to him, it's just, that weight is just lifted off you. So I encourage anybody who hasn't done that even maybe sitting in church and doing the Sunday thing, to just do it, make that decision.